I got what you love. I am your plug.
And we are back.
Y'all know that's right. Back again for another episode of the Hoop Plug.
Yes, sir. Very special. Always a special episode. Special time here at the Hoop Plug. And as always, rocking with you, it's your main man Firas in the building. And I got with me my brother, my partner in crime, the co to the CEO, my brother Tyler. How you feeling, bro?
Feeling good, bro. Jam-packed show as always. Bronny stock on the rise. Lakers winners of 5 in a row. The confusing New York Knicks. KD out with the MCL sprain and more. Keep it locked. It's a great episode of The Plug. If y'all saw the latest TikTok from The Plug, y'all know where we headed. Bronny's stock is on the rise. My guy just put on against the number one player in the class. Isaiah Collier and Wheeler from Georgia came into town. They were playing at USC. Collier is committed to USC. It's a match made in heaven, man. And he put on. I saw very quickly why this guy is the number one recruit in the class. He's got the NBA frame and the athleticism to go with it. My boy was getting buckets tough. His jump shot wasn't falling, and he still had 17 for the night. But the real story, Bronny James, 22 and the dub, okay? I think he might be ready for that next level.
Yeah, with a performance like that and the performances that he's been putting on as of late, seems that there's no doubt Bronny James is ready, not just for the college level, but seems like for the NBA level. And before we posed the question, before we get to answering it, right? A recent clip came out from a LeBron James interview, and I think the timing was just ever so perfect. Recent outpour in Bronny's performance, going head-to-head with the number one guy in his class. LeBron comes out and he says this.
What's left for you? What do you need to do in your career before you can hang it up?
I need to be on the floor with my boy. I got to be on the floor with Bronny, but I would love to do the whole King Griffey Senior and Junior thing. That would be ideal for sure. Being with him, spending a full year with him in the same uniform, that would be the icing on the cake.
All right, well, real quick, I've seen this clip so many times. The first time I've seen it like this. Yo, LeBron, relax. Why are you so sensual when you talk about your son right now? Take it easy. Why you whisper to relax?
Right? Like, that's not Savannah. Y'all not in the castle right now. Calm down.
What is going on? Is he spitting on a Jay Holiday feat? For those who know Jay Holiday, like, what is going? Is this a Neo song? What is going on? However, right? You take all that aside. You know what I'm saying? He's speaking facts. Who doesn't want to see that, right? LeBron has come out and said it. He wants to be basically the next rendition of the Ken Griffey Jr. Senior. You know what I'm saying? The basketball version. It's something we never seen before.
Facts. And he came out, he started tentative with this dream of his. He just brushed it into an interview or two. And now it feels like he's saying it every other week. Okay. And I think that has a lot to do with his son's performance. Bronny looking like the real deal, Holy Grail. At least in his last 2 weeks alone, he's leading Sierra Canyon in scoring, in assists. And if he continues to do that, put on like the true all-around combo guard he is, man, throwing the state championship, he's going to have his pick of colleges. He's going to be well on his way to making his dad's dream a reality.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Although Bronny has a long way to fulfill the legacy of his namesake, right? It looks like he's on the path. You know what I mean? A few months ago, last year for sure, you asked me if Bronny's going to be in the league. Maybe a back-end rotation player off the strength of his last name alone. I guess his full name. I don't know what you want to say. But after his performances as of late, man, Bronny James is the truth. And like you mentioned, if he can keep this up, if he can continue the rest of this performance for the remainder of his senior season, not only will he have pick of the crop when it comes to colleges, but expect him to be a very prosperous one-and-done player. And LeBron's dream actually becoming a reality.
Yeah, and it's not just prosperous on the court. It's prosperous in the bank account, too. I just saw a stat. His net worth already at $10 million from the NIL deals. I know Beats was calling. I know Nike was calling. But $10 million before his 19th birthday? That's crazy. And we're talking about official offers from all the big names in the college world. Memphis, Ohio State, USC, Duke, Kansas, Kentucky, Michigan, UNC, Oregon. And reports are saying, because everyone wants to know, right? Is he going to go to the G League? Is he going to go play D1? If so, where? Well, you're going to have to wait because it's reported that he likely won't sign until the spring after the Sierra Canyon basketball season is fully complete. So, yeah, we'll see. But either way, man, future is looking bright for Bronny James.
Oh, no doubt. And see this man's dunking? Like, if there's one thing that looks just like Pops, he says stunning like my daddy.
Yeah, that bounce is getting out of hand right now.
Yeah, low key, what was crazier to me than the dunk in that game against Isaiah Collier, because that's really what it was. It was Bronny versus him, right? Was that crazy layup he had towards the end of the game after the steal. He was high enough to dunk it, and he just like literally just dropped it.
Yeah.
It was tough.
Crazy.
It was very tough.
It was crazy. Man, speaking of crazy, Bronny's Pops getting it done. Lakers winners of 5 in a row. Latest victory being over the Sacramento Kings. Fight the beam? I think not.
It looks like there was a LeBron symbol over Kingstown last night because the Lakers are back. Nah, man, all jokes aside, though, the Los Angeles Lakers have been impressive in their last 5. We saw the good things Russell was doing off the bench. LeBron is still doing him. We know 80 is out, but they found a way to string some wins together. You know what I mean? In a very this is the worst Western Conference we've had in a very long time, between the 11th seed and really the 5th seed. It's up in the air. There's 3-4 games between them, you know. So the Lakers really have the opportunity here to make a splash. And it's funny, we're just talking about Bronny, but Senior, he's really been hooping, man. We talked about him in our last episode about, you know, top scoring performances of the season so far. LeBron said, I'm not done. Drops another 40 ball, you know what I mean, at the ripe young age of 38? 38? 38.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. He started off that 5-win streak with those 240 balls, like you said. Then Dennis Schroeder came to the party. My man has emerged, averaging 17 points per game. And Russ, looking like the most confident version of himself as a Laker, at least from what we've seen. Man, it's all coming together. I mean, they've strung a couple of these victories and winning streaks together, but it's never felt sustainable. But with AD beginning the ramp-up process, guys like Schroeder that you actually believe in and that have done it for a sustained period in the league, this kind of feels a little bit different. I mean, I'm not sure what their schedule is, but hopefully they can string a few more of these together. I'm laughing because I just thought about that post-game speech that my man Darvin Ham was trying to get through. And then LeBron was like, let's get greedy. Russ, let's just have fun. Okay, Russ.
Yo, Russ is loving it right now, man. You mentioned it, the most prosperous time for him as a Laker. I mean, in the win over Sacramento, he had 23, 15, and 5 in 34 minutes. You sure he didn't start? Nah, I'm kidding. We know he came off the bench making a great run for 6th man of the year. But, man, 2023, back into 2022, but 2023 seems like it'll be Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, and the Los Angeles Lakers year. You know, the woes of last season, the woes of the beginning of this season. I'm not going to sit here and tell you they're going to make a championship run, but this is not a lost season, whereas 4 months ago, might have been a completely different story.
That's facts. And I think that's all Lakers fans could ask for at this point in the season. We're going to see trade deadline coming up. If they're willing to push the chips into the middle of the table. I mean, they punted on the last 5-6 opportunities, it's felt like, in Laker Nation. But Jeannie Buss, she's got to pull the trigger at some point. Why not 2023?
Yep. Moving on. Tri-state area, everybody's favorite Manhattan squad, the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks have been looking very interesting as of late. A winning record. You know what I'm saying? At the beginning of the season, I remember me and Ty were talking about, you know, the Bulls and the Knicks competing for who's going to be worse. And the Bulls have taken the cake. You know what I mean? What's so interesting about the Knicks, I feel like they've been on some of the highlights of the biggest losses of the season so far, but still yet somehow managed to find a way to be 4 games above 500. I have to say, I'm proud.
And when we were doing those preseason power rankings, we had the Knicks and Bulls in the category we titled "Not sure if they're good or bad." And after the halfway mark of the season, they still are in that category. I'm not going. This is not about your Bulls, so I ain't gonna put y'all in the grave. Okay. But man, on the brighter note, right? 22-18. I'll take it. If you told me halfway through the season we'd be sitting at that record before it started, I'd sign up. But some interesting things here. Quickly emerging, he may have earned the starting job in New York. Since getting that position due to injury, Quickly's ran with it, man. He had that monster 35, 5, and 5 game, something only a few guys under 24 have done in the league this year. But the real interesting part is what's going to happen and what's Tibbs going to do once RJ returns. He's supposed to return. He had that lacerated finger versus Luka in that game we will not speak of. And Grimes, who was deemed untradeable when they were in that Donovan Mitchell sweepstakes in the offseason, has been holding down that shooting guard position since they removed Evan Fournier. But like I said, once RJ comes, it's going to be decision time. And I think Quickly has a valid case to hold down the spot.
Quickly is one of those guys that I think that this Knicks franchise has been looking to build on for the last few years. You drafted a point guard in I can't even think of his name right now. A few years ago, I gotta get his name.
Frank Ntilikina.
Drafted a point guard in Frank Ntilikina, who was everything you didn't want him to be and nothing you wanted him to be. So Immanuel Quickley is the guy that everybody thought Frank was or was going to be. And it shows. I think he makes a very strong case for starting point guard. I think you need to move some things around because I think when RJ gets back into the swing of things, no doubt you got to start him. But it seems like Immanuel Quickley has locked in or cemented his spot as a starting point guard. At least has a good argument for it, right?
Yeah, and it's been next to Brunson most of this time as a 2 guard. And it's weird because the development path for Quickly, Knicks haven't done him any favors. He was drafted as a point guard. They play him as a point guard. He has immense success his rookie year. They're like, all right, great. We're going to bring in Derrick Rose. You can move to off guard now. And he struggles, right? And it took him a while to get going this year, but he seems to found a groove in that starting lineup next to Brunson. It's the Brunson effect. Randall Sant's coming back, Quickly playing better. Knicks have a winning record. It's no secret Jalen Brunson is in the lineup for all of this happening. But, right, man, we can't talk about the Knicks' success, even though it's been streaky at best, right? They win 5, they lose 5. They win 7, they lose 5. It's confusing. I'm confused Knicks fan. I don't know if they're good or bad. But Julius Randle has undoubtedly been amazing this far. He's been his most efficient self, averaging 29 and 12 so far through January. Career high in points per game. My man is bowling. Shooting a career high in the 3-point attempts, about 35%. Not great, but he's dominating in the paint, and it looks a lot better. It's easier to digest right now as a Knicks fan.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, we can't expect or ask more of Julius Randle. Right now, averaging, like you said, a fat, very chubby double-double, helping out in the playmaking duties as well. Playing more defense than you would expect, all at very efficient numbers, career-high efficiency in some regards. You said it. Are the Knicks good? Right now, it seems so. You look at their last 7 games, are they? But you mentioned it's very confusing with the Knicks stand, but I honestly think that they're going to finish the season at above 500. Julius Randle, if he continues his play, is an all-star. Jalen Brunson, I believe, has proved himself to be an all-star as well. RJ Barrett, when healthy and when at his best, is undoubtedly an all-star. So you got 3 guys, 2.5, 3, a fringe third guy, right? All-stars on your team. That is a recipe for success. And I know you're currently the resident Brooklyn Nets fan, and I didn't forget about that. But, I think the Knicks have a lot of positive things to build on. And let's take this back all the way into the summer when they first signed Jalen Brunson, right? Jalen Brunson wasn't going to come in and be the guy, which I mean for large spurts in this season, he has been. But he's the second option to whoever the Knicks can land as their first option. And this Knicks team gets another star, like a bona fide star. I don't understand why you guys are not championship contenders. As long as you sign somebody in free agency, don't have to give up the Mitchell Robinsons, the Quickleys, all these other guys who play integral parts for you guys. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad you hit it with the star and what they need, because my pops will come to me about 2 times a month and be like, Knicks just need a 6'9" stretch forward. Knicks just need a crafty 6-man. I'm like, no, the Knicks need star power. They're good. They're feisty. They play defense.
Yeah.
But they're never going to be competing at the highest level without some more firepower, without a top 20 guy. And that doesn't go just for the Knicks. That's how this league has been built. It's all about the stars. So there's none brighter, though, than Kevin Durant. And unfortunately, yes, Nets fan here, He went down with an MCL sprain in the right knee. Man, and this is crazy. I got to read this out for you. When Durant got hurt last year, it was January 15th, and the Nets were at 27-15. This year is January 8th, and their record is 27-13. Shockingly close. Now, it's about how this team responds. It's an unfortunate time. KD's sitting at third in the MVP polls that come out every week. Nets were red hot, 20-4 since Kyrie returned to the lineup, the best team in the league. And they got to patch it together now. Their next game is versus the Celtics, but thankfully for me and other Nets fans, the schedule lines up after that. They just need to play 500 ball, and I think they can definitely do that. And it will end up much differently than last year. Because if you think about the Nets last year, it doesn't feel like they were ever 27-15.
You said it. I mean, definitely some signs for caution. Definitely when you have, guy, top 2 guy in the league, top 3 guy in the league, also in the top 3 in MVP voting, also in the top 3 in scoring. Like I could go on and on, right? You're going to feel his missing presence, right? Or I guess his presence or lack thereof, right? But I think this Brooklyn Nets team right now has something that they didn't have last year. Their coach has been the difference maker. Steve Nash really had no presence in the locker room, no presence on the floor. Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant did not respect him. I mean, this new coach, you see the difference. He comes out, they sign him, or whatever happens after that whole Steve Nash situation, Look at their record. They're 20-4 since. Kyrie comes back. Kyrie gets back on the floor and gets back with the quickness. All these guys have bought in. This Brooklyn Nets team has never been as much of a well-oiled machine as it is right now. Key thing that we're forgetting about. Ben Simmons update. Haven't heard anything from this guy in a minute. And the reason why is he's not playing horribly. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say he's great, but Ben Simmons shooting layups. Ben Simmons not finishing with 0 points in games anymore. Looking like his former self. You said what? Simmons?
I said, and 16 fouls.
hey, beggars can't be choosers, bro. And Benjamin David Simmons is making his presence felt. Again, still, he has the 4-point games and the 2-point games, but they're winning. He's contributing on the defensive end. He's facilitating. He's grabbing rebounds, Unfortunately, Ben Simmons' only problem is he's the most expensive role-playing starter. I don't even know what you want to call him.
That's facts.
That's the only bad part.
I didn't even think about that, bro. We're gonna have to have an exclusive one day on if Philadelphia Ben Simmons is dead, because I don't know if he's ever coming back for real.
I don't think so. He got signed almost to superstar contract and is literally worse than most role players. But hey,
facts.
Doing it enough to help this team win games. So second in the East could be worse for this.
I've also noticed that Jack Vaughn just plays him a lot less than Steve Nash was. Okay, it ain't really working. I ain't going to try to put the square peg into the round hole. But, bro, back to KD, because I think a couple things you said were interesting. Nets fans, Durant has one of these moments every year. He takes a fall, and you're holding your breath as a Nets fan. This was it, and it unfortunately ended in an MCL sprain. I think this team is better equipped to win without him. We remember in the offseason, what was the big complaint? Why did he request a trade? One of the things he cited, reportedly, was, man, after I went down, y'all could not win a freaking game. I think they had that 9-game losing streak, it's immediately following him. And for those that have questions about how truly good Jack Vaughn has been for this Nets squad, just watch that huddle in Toronto. He draws up a play for Kevin Durant, and they have that communication. I mean, I don't know. They could have probably ran over Steve Nash and got the same result, but the way they handled it was like family. KD's like, nah, draw this one up for Kyrie. Kyrie is like, yeah, that works too. Jack Vaughn didn't fight it. He didn't get his ego involved. He's like, all right, we're going to run this for Kai. Now, he hits the Golden State step back, the shot. Game over. They win. I mean, that's just a prime example of it, man.
Beautifully said. And that's the difference right there. It's the chemistry. It's the love. Hate to see Kevin Durant going down, but you love to see where Brooklyn is at. We're talking about the East, moving up back over to the West, man. Nuggets on a tear right now, man. Surging to be, Well, they are the best in the West.
That's right, man. 8-2 in their last 10, tied with the Grizzlies for the best record in the West. And I got it, y'all. The number one reason why is the Joker, Nikola Jokic. We talked about those preseason polls a little bit earlier. Well, Jokic is the guy leading them. All right, number one in MVP polls. And Jamal Murray is reason number two. My man has turned a corner following that long road back. It's been 20 months since he tore his ACL, and he is all the way back now. We're seeing prime Jamal Murray. We're seeing bubble Jamal Murray, 6 dribble combos, putting guards in the spin cycle. He's punching it at the rim. Low-key, underrated dunker. Jamal Murray's got some posters in his back.
I was going to say
man.
that. I was going to say that, man. Jamal Murray, Bubble Mall, as we like to call him, right? This fool got bunnies, bro. Nah, he could actually dunk all over fools. I mean, although this is not a fair example, running 2K, you know what I'm saying? Throwing this fool oops, I'm on the Nuggets, throwing this fool oops. I'm like, damn, Jamal Murray, you catching oops over like Embiid? Like, what is going on here, you know? So now he got them underrated bunnies, very underrated dunker, in-game dunker, you know?
And it's good to see just from a highlight standpoint, but even more importantly, that means he's trusting his knee, man. That means he's fully back. We know how tough it must be, man. I gotta wear knee sleeve when I play ball. My shit is barking right now. Like, I can only imagine at a high level with all the workouts and everything that comes with it. They're running up and down at this pace. Man, to trust it again, to be able to do what you're doing, pray freely, it's got to be a big part of it.
Oh yeah, because the physical is obviously the number one thing, right? If you're injured out there, you can't play, right? But the mental, so close. I mean, once you get back to that point, it's the fear of injuring yourself again, the fear of having to go through that again, right? And trusting your body. And for a lot of people, it takes a lot of time. For Jamal Murray, it's been about 20 months, I'd say 18 months into it, he started kind of looking like his former self again. But really, as of late, Jamal Murray said no longer Maul or Bubble Maul. You know what I'm saying? This is just me. So yeah, no, you love to see it. Denver Nuggets have been absolutely hooping. Joker basically on his way to get a third consecutive MVP. Basically. It's kind of crazy.
It's kind of crazy. And they better win some damn playoff games if he does.
Seriously.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, because he's so damn good. He really is. But I mean, honestly, it's like LeBron in year 7, 8, 9. It's like you're so damn good, but can't win. Like to be that good, you gotta win as well. It's part of it, you know. So hopefully the Denver Nuggets have figured out some things. Jamal Murray is back. The rest of the squad, the signing of Aaron Gordon compared to the 2020 bubble, the team is looking good, I have to say. So
yeah, and that's an interesting point you made up with the comparison there, because I'm like, okay, that's when the criticism really started to hit a fever pitch. And we have yet to see any of the European stars, which there are many of now, get that same level of vitriol. I'm going to say Jokic is up next. The clock is ticking.
yeah.
He's got probably a year and a half left. If he's getting a first round bounce, if he gets first round bounce, they're going to be coming for him. Luka's probably got like 3-4 more years.
And the funny thing about Luka is he's overachieved with the teams that he's had. Like Western Conference Finals, if I'm not mistaken, right? Western Conference Finals?
Yep.
Like, come on, with that squad? Like Dorian Finney-Smith playing 40 minutes for you? Like, come on, man. I mean,
Brunson
no
is the
disrespect.
number 2, and no disrespect. Yeah.
So you get it. I think he's overachieved, but the thing about the Nuggets are it's time in, time out. Top seed, top 2 seed, running through people in the first or second round, and then when they've made it there, just folding, you know what I mean, or just not being good enough in the final stretches. Like, this is a good team, top to bottom, back-to-back MVPs. They don't have that same excuse. So like you said, another year, another 2 years, they're going to be like, what's up, Joker? You have been voted the best player in the league 2 years in a row. Like, to me, that's what the MVP is. There's some debate, but if you're the MVP, you're the best player in the league, you know? And he hasn't been able to get the job done.
That's facts. All right, y'all, before we get out of here, we just want to tell y'all about the best men's hair care, groom care brand in the game, EvanAlexanderGrooming.com.
Yes, sir, that's right. The premier, the number one, the best place to get your hair care, beard care, skin care, male grooming. You know what I'm saying? They got whatever you need and more. Head over to EvanAlexanderGrooming.com. Hit hoop_plug_ check out. Supporting them, supporting us. You know what I'm saying? Supporting us is supporting yourself.
Let's go. And as always, Frost, why don't you let them know where we put that flavor?
As always, guys, thanks for tuning in and put some flavor in your ear.